Hey guys, Brody here with Squid's Pressure Washing LLC, Kansas City's highest rated exterior cleaning company and a veteran owned business. I titled it Softwash Saturday. Probably won't be any segments here unless it's pro wrestling, old school pro wrestling call out Wednesday. So wrestling Wednesdays. But anyway, I'm making this video for a guy named Will down in Arkansas. I just got off the phone with him probably 5 minutes ago. He is setting up his first 12-volt pump system, which I like. I know there's a lot of fans out there of the booster pumps and air diaphragm doohickeys and whatever. But the 12 volts, as long as you flush them out with about 15, maybe even 20 gallons of water at the end, I haven't had one go bad, and I like it just fine. But some people like fancy toys, fancy inexpensive toys, I guess. But one of Will's questions is, can you get by with old school like zinc hose sprayer? And you can. I actually really like it if you have the ability to change the stream on the front of the gun. I don't have one here at the house with me, but if you can change the stream, I think it's great. Because if not, if it's one where it starts as a big, wide, giant circle and then narrows in as you open the valve, that one sometimes catch you with your pants down. You'll end up spraying stuff you don't mean to spray. And not on a giant scale by any means, but even still, I like a little bit better control over it. But I do really like those for Softwash systems. I did want to tell Will, or show Will this. This here is just the standard cheap trigger gun that you get with any of the Bandit kits or build it yourself kits that come with everything. And this is actually the second one that I've had the trigger part, the second one I've had to buy. And the reason is it cracked right up here without really, I mean, I had the thing tightened in it. It cracked up here. It was showing a ton of signs of wear, and I'm typically pretty good about taking care of things. But I just didn't like the cost for the little amount of use I actually got out of the last gun. And we don't use this system a ton, which is probably another reason why I like the 12 volt. But this, again, is that kit. This is a replacement. I had to replace it once. And these are Suttner, and I think Suttner is really good about trigger guns. But I just don't like it. The other thing I do, no matter whether I use PVC or one of the garden hose spray guns or this, is I would put a cam lock fitting on this and on the end of the hose. Cam locks just make things a little bit easier than keeping this threaded on. And when you're pulling your hoses, don't pull it by the gun, pull it by the hose. If you're new to this, if you're not new to this, you probably learn the lesson the hard way. But this, again, is the kit that you use. This is sprinkler pipe. I'm certain of it. And the 45 degree, I haven't actually found a 45 degree threaded fitting in PVC yet. It's threaded on both sides. You might need to check the sprinkler fitting section. The hard part is finding this little plastic bushing that reduces this down from half to 3/8 inch thread or 1/4 inch thread or NPT. I forget how that works. But anyway, this is 1/4 inch quick connect here for your J-rod or your nozzles. And you can get by. Now I got a pile of these because they're so cheap. I think this thing costs like $6 or $7, maybe $8 total to make. So I bought a bunch of them in order to have some backups in case this handle breaks, this trigger breaks again. But I like the little extension rather than putting the thing right on the back, especially since I use the banjo locks. You don't want to have to fight with the ball valve over that banjo lock. So a little bit of an extension is a good idea, I think. And again, just sprinkler fitting parts and regular PVC. These versus these are a little nicer, I think, as far as control goes. These guns, it's not all or nothing, but it's not far off, I don't think. With these, you can control the flow a little bit, right? And then if you prime your pump with water first and foremost, and you're trying to keep air out of the line, you can crack this a little bit and you'll evacuate the air out of the line as water runs through. Just make sure that once it's totally primed, you close it off before you turn on the bleach, or the SH or whatever you want to call it. But again, these are just PVC fittings from your local home center. And there's a bunch of these in the truck at the very moment, just in case stuff like this breaks. The other thing I did have break was this, and you guys might notice this is a little shorter than the one that usually comes with it. And that's because I took a step back and stepped on it and broke it. None of these fittings really care for SH a whole lot, which is why you have to flush everything out, rinse everything off really good. But you got to have backups. The backups are so cheap that it's silly not to have them. The only thing that I think is really expensive about this is if you don't have the banjo lock. I think these banjo locks are like $10 or $12 a piece, maybe. That could be way off base, but that's what's in my head for some reason. And again, if you can find the 45 degree in this little bushing, which you can through most pressure washing and soft washing suppliers, pick up a couple of those, and then everything else, if you want, you can find at the home center, which is pretty nice. And this, I think, is probably even more reliable than that trigger, just based on my experience. And the only reason I haven't switched to using this exclusively is because I don't want to have fuss with putting new tape on everything and changing this out, which is kind of a silly excuse, I know. But I use tape as well. That was a question the guys came down from Nebraska had. They said PVC, you don't have to use tape. There was somebody told them that with PVC and stuff, you don't have to use tape. I use it because it makes me feel good, and I'm not a plumber by trade, so I don't know any better. I just know that most threads, when you're plumbing stuff together, should probably be taped. And that could be, again, an old wives' tale, but it works for me. I like the Teflon tape on stuff. But long story short, grab yourself a handful of emergency triggers, if you will, from the home center, and they could save your butt one day. So I hope that's helpful. Again, this is for Will down in Arkansas. He had a couple questions about it today on the phone, so I just wanted to show him the spares that keep lying around. You'll see everything's loose. I just kind of toss them together until the time that I should actually need it. So again, I hope that's helpful. If you guys are stumbling on this channel, I found out that YouTube is they're basically punishing channels that aren't using, they're not monetizing through Google Ads or something. I watched a video yesterday. So if they have a Patreon account, which I don't even have a Patreon account, I just make these videos because I thoroughly enjoy helping you guys out. But I got to figure out a way to get the channel out there without charging people to use it, essentially, because that's not my intention whatsoever. So if you would, please share, please like, please subscribe. Hey, Greg. Man, Greg's like my top fan, which is good because I'm like Greg's top fan. But if you could, please like, subscribe, share. My goal is to get to 200 subscribers by second week in October, and then I'll set another baseline from there. But for now, I need 30 subscribers, which I know is a lot for a channel with under 200. So if you would, please, please, please like, share, and subscribe. Have a good weekend.